Hey guys, welcome everyone to the kickoff of AO Ventures. We're very excited to have all of you here today and get this program underway. I'm Jesse. Some of you guys might be familiar with me. I'm the program manager of AO Ventures, and I was formerly the program manager for the Open Web Foundry. And I'm also here with Tate, who is the founder of Community Labs. Tate and I are each going to share a short presentation where we'll talk about the program and also the broader Arweave and AO ecosystems. So, with that being said, Tate, I invite you to share your slides and get us started with kicking this off.
All right, thanks, Jesse. Let me just share my screen really quick here. Okay, excited to be kicking off the program today. Thank you all for coming. This is AO Ventures. But before we get into that, just a quick wanted to give a quick intro on myself. So as Jesse mentioned, my name's Tate, founder of Community Labs. Um, the reason I want to go into a little bit of the reason why we're doing this before we get into the specifics, mainly because I went through a program similar to this a few years ago, and it's how I got to where I am today in the ecosystem. So my story of getting into Arweave was back in 2019. I actually clicked on an ad on Brave, if you guys use the Brave browser, that was talking about permanent data storage. I'm not usually the type of person that clicks on ads, but for whatever reason, I found that one to be especially clickable. So I discovered Arweave back in 2019. When the pandemic started in 2020, I found my first use case for it building a product called Nest.land um, with a few people that I met on Discord. Nest.land is essentially a developer tool that repurposes Arweave as a CDN for developers. It enabled devs to upload their code without having to, I guess, understand anything about crypto or use anything relating to blockchain. It was just leveraging the advantages of Arweave with the user experience of a Web 2 product. Nest.land unintentionally turned into a vibrant open source community full of developers, which is what helped build our team that it is today to where it is today. And right after we started Nest.land, Open Web Foundry kind of kicked off. At the time, it was called Open Web Fellowship, and it was an 8-week program. A bunch of projects kind of came into that. And I'll explain a little bit more in a second, but it really helped to seed what the ecosystem is today. After participating in OWF, our team began to start working on a product called Verto, which was actually the first DEX on Arweave back in 2020. And the rest is history. We've continued building out different products and tools for Arweavers ever since. One of the most, I guess, popular that we're working on right now is called Arconnect, which is like the MetaMask of Arweave. I think there's a decent chance that some of you are familiar with that. So we're the team behind that. So what was OWF? Open Web Foundry was an incubator and an accelerator for early stage projects that were focused on Arweave and permanent data storage more generally. Um, it was really a catalyst to help bootstrap Arweave because it connected developers and builders to capital allocators, investors that were looking to deploy towards the new ecosystem that was Arweave. It led to over $100 million, I think actually $150 million in funding being invested into the Arweave ecosystem over a 2 to 3 year period. And pretty much every project in Arweave today that is well capitalized went through OWF when it was going. And so we're really excited to be starting AO Ventures with a very similar goal. Um, it helped attract a lot of talent and capital to the ecosystem. So to take another step back, like Arweave at a high level, Arweave is actually a protocol and a stack. And this is really something that we're excited to be pushing for in AO Ventures. A lot of people think of Arweave as a library, which it is. You know, you can upload any type of data to Arweave and rely on it being there. A lot of the NFT crowd use it for that. A lot of the museums even are using Arweave for this type of use case. But it's also now an application stack. So you can use Arweave nodes, to store data. The nodes are what are incentivized to actually store the data and prove that they're storing that over time. The base Arweave network. On top of that, you have gateways. Ario is a primary gateway provider. They're building a decentralized network of gateways that help index the data and make it easy for developers and consumers to pull from the network. And now we have AO, which is compute. So now the data can do stuff, which is incredibly exciting. So, what is AO and why is it important? Those questions are going to take more time than we have today to answer. But at a very high level, AO is a hyperparallel computer that enables anyone in any programming language to build on a permanent web. Why is this important? Well, for one, to break down that sentence, AO being hyperparallel, that means that instead of having smart contracts that are evaluated sequentially, one after another, one transaction after another on the network, you can have effectively these threads that can operate away from the others, which mean they can scale independently of the rest of the network. That's really good because it kind of gets around the scalability restraints that blockchains typically have. Let's say you're building a game, for example, that's going to be very heavy in the resources from a computation perspective that it requires. Well, on AO, that's actually pretty simple to solve for. You can just build multiple processes that can pass messages back and forth, and you can scale each of those processes independent from one another and independent from the rest of the network. It's kind of an alternative solution to the app chain thesis that Cosmos was pushing, in a way that doesn't require you to set up a separate network and build a separate security model for each of the chains. You don't need another chain for every application. All of these things can share resources, but can scale independently. It also enables this in any programming language. So at the end of the day, some people are building on this thing with EVM. Some people will be building on it in Solana virtual machine. The first language that's being worked on right now is Lua. So a lot of developers are building these processes in Lua, which if you aren't familiar with Lua, it's quite simple to learn. We have a team that can help answer questions for you on that. But for the most part, if you know JavaScript or Python, it's far simpler than those. I think it should take less than 3 hours for you to kind of pick up, and less than an hour just to understand at least. And to build on the permanent web. So we're really excited by all of the things that come with permanent data storage. We think that the composability that you get on a permanent web has an opportunity to make an impact similar to what we've seen in DeFi, where people are building these composable building blocks of financial primitives that work very well together. Arweave is really the first place that we can actually leverage the same level of composability, but outside of just those financial use cases, which we're really excited to see the implications of over the next few years. If you're interested in reading more about AO or getting to understand it better, Rohit from our team put a great blog together on our page about that, and you can just scan the QR code there to read a bit more. In terms of where the ecosystem is today, testnet launched 2 to 3 months ago. So for AO, so it's still very, very young, and already there is the beginnings of an ecosystem map coming together, which is incredible. We already have exchanges, we have oracles, people are building multi-sigs IDEs, multiple groups building analytics and tooling. Yes, we have memes, of course. Multiple people are building games, and actually the first stable coin on AO just launched today, earlier, called Astro, which we're very excited about. Now, with that said, there are teams building on it. There are teams getting funding for doing so, and there are a lot of people excited to build on it. However, the biggest reason that we're excited to run this program is because there's still so much opportunity to build on top of AO. We're especially excited about people thinking through liquid staking for Arweave or AO. We're excited about the idea of people building money markets. Web browsers seem very low hanging within the ecosystem right now. Content tokenization. So if you've never heard of the Universal Content Marketplace, you should definitely check out UCM within the ecosystem. Autonomous agent-based technologies we're excited to see. AO has this feature called cron, which effectively gives processes the ability to wake up and go to sleep without the user needing to send any transaction or prompt anything. Um, there are very few things being built on that feature right now. A lot of people are talking about building on it, but there's still so much opportunity there, and I can't wait to see what people do. And then also top of list for us, consumer, consumer, consumer. So people, anyone that is building a consumer-faced tool or technology on top of AO that leverages all parts of the Arweave stack, we're incredibly excited for. Someone in our team, Ricardo, is actually building a tokenized real estate product that will leverage AO, it'll leverage Arweave, but the consumer is someone that would be looking to purchase real estate. So use cases like that, like we're really trying to push the boundaries of Arweave as an application stack, and are really excited to deploy capital towards those use cases. All right. In terms of the AO Ventures team, as you know, Jesse had already introduced himself, but we're really excited to be working with Jesse again as the program manager for this. And Lorimer, who you'll meet soon as well, is the engineering partner. So if you have any technical questions, feel free to reach out to Lorimer. He would be happy to help. All right. Jesse, I'll pass it back to you.
Okay, welcome everyone again. It's a pleasure to be here today, and I'm really excited to talk about AO Ventures, an initiative that we've planned to help accelerate the permanent web. So I've been working in the Arweave ecosystem for a while now, and speaking with all the great builders we have here, this is certainly one of the most exciting times to be in the ecosystem, and I'm really excited to see where we go next. In this presentation, I'm going to dive into the details of what we've planned with this program and highlight some of the opportunities that an initiative like AO Ventures presents. The program spans a dedicated 10-week period, during which we'll aim to equip participating teams with the means to further their projects. So we're committed to empowering you with the tools, resources, and network to elevate your ideas into tangible, impactful solutions. And also with the backing of 35 million in capital committed, AO Ventures is uniquely positioned to support and scale the most promising ideas within the Arweave and AO ecosystem. It really is my belief that if you are a builder in the Arweave and AO ecosystem today, this is one of the best opportunities available to secure funding and take your project to the next level. Our core mission is to accelerate projects building on Arweave and AO by providing technical support, funding, and more. The general process for successful projects will be to start with an idea or MVP, enroll in the program, build and refine your project for 10 weeks, showcase your work on demo day, and then raise funds through community labs and our network of investors. We believe that sustainable ecosystems are built on the foundations of great ideas, robust technology, and most importantly, passionate individuals like yourselves. And we hope that we can support you in completing the process described here. In terms of support, you can expect mentorship opportunities from the Community Labs team and network, from guidance on investor relations, access to presentations and insight from our keynote speakers, as well as design and pitch support. We'll also be hosting technical workshops, engineering office hours, and have ad hoc support for any engineering-related questions or queries that you may have. There will be networking opportunities available throughout the program with other builders enrolled in AO Ventures, as well as founders in the Arweave ecosystem and industry experts. Lastly, we'll provide funding opportunities from industry-leading VCs through Demo Day, as well as facilitating introductions to our network of investors. So at a high level, we'll have a few different types of sessions throughout AO Ventures, but the heart of the program is the technical workshops and the keynote presentations from Arweave founders and industry experts. These sessions will be on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, unless otherwise stated. If anything changes, we'll make sure to update you through the mailing list and our social channels, and more on that later. The technical workshops will be at the beginning of the program, and as the program continues, we'll start to shift our focus to different topics. So we'll also have a break in programming for approximately 2 weeks to prepare for demo day. We haven't announced the exact date for demo day yet, so make sure to stay tuned for that. And then to zoom in on programming a little bit further, we're going to have ad hoc sessions that include community Twitter spaces, virtual networking events, and engineering office hours. The focus, as I mentioned previously, the focus of the program will shift the further along we get. So the beginning will be tech focused. The middle, we can focus on important projects and tooling within the Arweave ecosystem. And the end, having more of a focus on investor relations, project token distributions, and building a team. Participation in AO Ventures is open to everyone. So the events are public and anyone can join regardless of them even being enrolled in the program. The part where we'll be selective is when selecting the projects who will be participating in Demo Day. So the selection for Demo Day projects will take place around mid to late June, and it'll come down to a variety of factors, including the quality of your idea, the technological implementation, and the potential impact that this project will have on the broader Arweave and AO ecosystems. So as mentioned previously, the AO Ventures program will culminate in a demo day. Selected projects will have 5 minutes to pitch their projects to industry-leading investors and the broader Arweave and AO community. We will be providing pitch and design support to the selected projects to make sure that you make the most of your time in your presentation. And then as well, Community Labs will also be contributing $300K to the investment pool for AO Ventures projects. However, the support doesn't just end at demo day. We will also be providing regular check-ins post-demo day, facilitating introductions to investors, providing mentorship and feedback to help you navigate through your raise. And with all that being said, I've run a lot of programs like this before, from hackathons to other incubator programs. And the most successful projects I've seen come through these types of programs, they attend the events, they leverage the engineers and network, they provide regular project updates, and they participate in the social channels. So make sure to do the following and help us in helping to support you. And if you haven't already, make sure to register for the program on aoventures.io. I've spoken to a lot of you already, and I'm continuing to reach out to more projects that fill out the submission form. So if you have registered, look out for a call invitation from me. And if you haven't registered, make sure to do so now. We'll also be adding the registered participants to a mailing list so you can keep up to date with the latest on AO Ventures. So that'll be really important to stay up to date on everything, is just signing up so that we know that you're interested, and then we can continue to send you communications on everything that's going on in the program. And also make sure to register for the technical workshop on Thursday. So that's coming up very soon. And I talked a little bit about our socials, but in regards to them, make sure to follow at AO the Ventures on X, join our Discord, which you can find on the AO Ventures website. And if you're on LinkedIn, follow us there as well. If you have any other questions, I'm a resource at your disposal. So email me at jparacelli@communitylabs.com, and I will try my best to get back to you within 2 to 3 days or sooner. So thank you everyone for being here. I'm looking forward to seeing all the amazing projects that is going to emerge from this cohort. And I'm wishing all of you the best on this exciting journey. So thank you guys. And yeah, I'm going to end the stream now, but looking forward to doing this with you guys. And if you have any questions, again, make sure to reach out to me. I'm happy to chat and talk more about your projects. Bye guys.